Hi everyone, it's Nicole, and today I'm bringing you 22 of my most anticipated releases of 2022. So with the new year right around the corner, I just felt like it was a good idea for me to come on here and tell you some of the books I'm looking forward to in the new year. So a little disclaimer, these are not all of the books that I'm looking forward to. These are the only books that I'm looking forward to in 2022. I do create a master list month by month of books that just look interesting, and I'm working on that slowly but surely, but I don't want this video to be hours long, and 22 books in 2022 is just sketchy. So this is what I decided to come up with. It was really hard to narrow down all the books that I'm looking forward to just 22 books. And it turns out these 22 books are only up until July. So I have another 5 months that are unaccounted for. I could probably make another 22 books in 2022 with the other 5 months, but without further ado, I'm just going to go ahead and get started. So I'm going to be talking about these books in publication date order. So the first one is going to be Electric Idol by Katie Robert. I have 2 dates for the release. Goodreads says January 18th, and I'm less inclined to believe them. And I believe Amazon says January 15th, so around that day. So this is the second book in the Dark Olympus series, the first book being Neon Gods. So I am going to be reading the synopsis of all these books, so if you do not want spoilers, since this is the second book of the series, please fast forward until you don't see a picture of the book anymore. But this series is based on Greek mythology, the first book being a Hades and Persephone retelling, so this book follows Psyche and Eros. And I have Storygraph up over here so I can read you the synopsis. So it says, "He was the most beautiful man alive, and if I wasn't careful, he was going to be my death. A scorchingly hot modern retelling of Psyche and Eros that's as sinful as it is sweet. In the ultra-modern city of Olympus, there's always a price to pay. Psyche knew she'd have to face Aphrodite's ire eventually, but she never expected her literal heart to be at stake, or for Aphrodite's gorgeous son to be the one ordered to strike the killing blow. Eros has no problem shedding blood, but when it comes time to take out his latest target, he can't do it. Confused by his reaction to Psyche, he does the only thing he can think of to keep her safe. He marries her. Psyche vows to make Eros' life a living hell until they find a way out of this mess, but as lines blur and loyalties shift, she realizes he might take her heart after all, and she's not sure if she can survive the loss." Oh my god, it sounds so freaking good. Okay, I loved Neon Gods. It was so good, so I'm very excited for this book to come out. And the next book that I'm excited for is Monroe by Kresley Cole. This is going to be the newest installment of the Immortals After Dark series. I still have to read one more book before I'm ready for Monroe, but it's not coming out until January 25th, I believe. So I have plenty of time to finish Wicked Abyss before Monroe comes out. In the synopsis, it does say that it could be read as a standalone, but again, if you don't want spoilers, fast forward. A human monster huntress, an immortal werewolf. Could any passion be more forbidden? The next standalone installment in the electrifying Immortals After Dark series by Kresley Cole. Venture deeper into the lore, fierce realm of the Immortals if you dare. Tormented in unimaginable ways. Coming off torture at the hands of his warlock captors, Monroe McReeve never expected to find his mate, or to lose her just as abruptly. Driven to desperation, the ruthless warrior uses his enemy's own power to reunite with her, in the distant past. Stolen from her time. When a crazed werewolf crashes her wedding, Kirani Ren Kodrina does what any cunning huntress would do. She captures him. Yet she finds herself softening toward the wounded beast until he turns the tables and forces her into an incomprehensible future. Can a human and an immortal unite in order to survive? As danger mounts, Monroe will do anything to make her undying, even sell his soul to an evil sorceress. But first he must convince his fiery mate that she belongs with him. If seduction means her survival, Monroe would use every weapon in his arsenal to possess her forever. So yeah, I really enjoy this series. It's a little bit on the darker side. The first book being A Hunger Like No Other kind of deals with like dubious consent, so if that's not your thing, probably would have an issue with a couple of the books. Definitely a more fated mates situation like this, where there's like a werewolf shifter, and once he sets sights on his mate, that's it, and there's really no going back, and they pursue their mates relentlessly. So if you have an issue with that, please, just avoid this series, but it is very good if you don't mind that. The next book I'm excited for is Highland Wolf by Lindsay Sands. This is book number 10 in the Highland Bride series. I adore Lindsay Sands. She's one of like my OG authors that first got me into romance. So I always have a soft spot for Lindsay Sands, and I really love this Highlander historical romance series. It's so, so good. Again, this can be read as a standalone, but there are characters in this book that have their own stories in the first couple books in the series. So if you don't want to be spoiled for anything, again, fast forward till you don't see the picture of the book. In all her dreams about her wedding day, Lady Claire McFarlane never once imagined being dragged to the altar by her greedy uncle and forced to marry a man she didn't know. But that's what happened, or would have, had a Highland warrior not snatched her up at the last minute and ridden off with her in his arms. God, I love it so. I love it already. They call him the Wolf. The mercenary's courage and prowess in battle are known throughout the Highlands, and with his handsome face and black as sin hair, he was as intelligent and deadly as the wolf he was named for. But the wolf is also Claire's betrothed. Thought to have been killed as a child, he's been in hiding all of these years. Now he's determined to earn enough coin to rebuild his home, reclaim his birthright, and honor his marriage contract to Claire. For he's fallen for the tender-hearted lass, and he will do anything to protect her and their future together. Doesn't that sound so good? Did I tell you when this is coming out? This is coming out January 25th. Sorry, I just got so excited to read the synopsis. But again, I love Lindsay Sands. If you would like a good Scottish historical romance, definitely pick up this series. It's great. The next book I have here is The Immortal by Gina Showalter. This is book number 2 in the Rise of the Warlords. Book number 1 was The Warlord. Have I read that book yet? No, I haven't. But I really love Gina Showalter. Again, one of my OG authors. First got me into paranormal romance. So I love Gina Showalter. I literally will buy anything this woman writes. So even though I haven't read the first one, this is definitely on my most anticipated reads. Again, fast forward if you don't want to be spoiled by the synopsis. New York Times bestselling author Gina Showalter delivers The Immortal, the second dark and sexy book in her Rise of the Warlords series, featuring a cold, merciless assassin and a stubborn harpy warrior, one fated to die by the hands of the other. Halo Fanian, assassin of gods, is as cold and merciless as a machine. For victory, he crosses any line. When tasked to kill 12 of mythology's fiercest monsters in 24 hours, Halo eagerly agrees. Except each morning he awakens to the same day, forced to relive new horrors. Only one other person retains their memory, the beauty who threatens his iron control. Ophelia the flunk-out hates her disaster of a life. She's the family disappointment, a harpy warrior without a kill and powerless. Or is she? Nearly every night she's doomed to repeat her own murder, but each morning she arises to spar with Halo, the ruthless warlord increasingly determined to save her and lure her to his bed. Halo's insatiable desire for the stubborn Ophelia drives him wild, and he only craves more. If he remains in the time loop, they stay together. If he escapes, they lose each other forever. Oh my god, that sounds so good. I really need to read the first one. Oh, and that book comes out February 1st. Oh my god, I'm so bad at telling you the release date. I'm so sorry. All right, I'm super excited about this next book, and that is Let Me In by R.M. Virtues. This is book number 3 in the Gods of Hunger series, another Greek mythology-based series, but so good. The synopsis is pretty small, but again, fast forward if you don't want to be spoiled. Oh, and this book comes out February 14th. I'm so sorry. I keep forgetting to tell you about the release date. Okay. Dionysus accompanies his best friend, Athena, to Thasos in an attempt to mend tensions with the local leadership. Athena isn't sure Dionysus' strategies, or rather antics, are appropriate for the situation, but she might come to find that her best friend's talents for pleasing people have more uses than she initially believed. For her too. Short, sweet, I'm super excited. This is definitely a friends to lovers romance, and I am so freaking excited. All right, another book that I am super excited for is a series, again, by R.M. Virtues, and that's the series of Sacrilegious Events. I'm not sure when the release dates for these books are, but I know they are going to be sometime in 2022. I don't know how many books are going to be, but RM did release like some snippets and pictures and graphics on Instagram showing us some of the major characters that are going to be in this book series, and I cannot freaking wait. It looks so good. It's a series Again, I don't know how many books he's releasing next year, so I'm just counting this as kind of one in my list of 22 books. So super excited. Anything RM writes is gold. Please, please pick up his work. Next book is Wish Out of Water by Holly Trent, and I first saw this book on Twitter and this cover drew me in. It is so beautiful. I love it so freaking much. It is stunning. It looks epic. I love mermaids, so I think I'm just going to adore this book. This book comes out February 15th, and here's the synopsis. Brooke Williams was raised to avoid drawing attention at all costs. At 28, she wonders if her mermaid mother's paranoia isolated Brooke and her siblings from society to a harmful extreme. When Brooke intervenes to save a stranger from a careening truck, however, she quickly learns her mother's obsessive concerns were entirely justified. There's just something about Brooke that Cooper Koning can't get off his mind. At first, he thinks his infatuation is due to the concussion he sustained when she shoved him out of traffic. Then he realized that she's simply perfect to free him from a looming future being the king of Soursland. I think that's how you say it. His candid Hail Mary proposal comes with few strings attached. Brooke marries him, he's tossed from the line of succession, she gets a wad of cash for her struggling swim school, and they go their separate ways. Of course, Cooper soon realizes that he'd be foolish to let her go. Now that she's left her little world, the mermaid skeletons in Brooke's closet can no longer stay hidden. Her mother left the sea to escape a burdensome duty, and now that duty is Brooke's. And in a strange twist of fate, that mantle may mean that it isn't even Cooper's human family who should rule Soursland. I think that's how you say it, I'm not sure. But Brooke's magical one. Can a relationship built on fables endure, or will the star-crossed spouses quickly decide their differences are too tremendous to overcome? Whew! I'm super excited about that one. Oh, I love it. This is definitely going to be a cover buy. I hope I can get a physical copy because holy moly. I'm sure this next book comes as no surprise to anybody, and that is House of Sky and Breath by Sarah J. Maas. This is book number 2 in the Crescent City series, and it comes out February 15th. Bryce Quinlan and Hunt Athalar are trying to get back to normal. They may have saved Crescent City, but with so much upheaval in their lives lately, they mostly want a chance to relax, slow down, figure out what the future holds. The Asteri have kept their word so far, leaving Bryce and Hunt alone, but with the rebels chipping away at the Asteri's power, the threat the rulers pose is growing. As Bryce, Hunt, and their friends get pulled into the rebels' plans, the choice becomes clear. Stay silent while others are oppressed, or fight for what's right, and they've never been very good at staying silent. In this sexy, action-packed sequel to the #1 bestseller House of Earth and Blood, Sarah J. Maas weaves a captivating story for a world about to explode, and the people who will do anything to save it. So it's supposed to be sexy. I hope we get more than just a finger bang session on the couch, but one can only hope, right? I mean, I get it. They just met. It's fine. In book 1, I mean. So yeah, I'm very, very excited about that. That sucker's probably going to be huge. That's what she said. Moving on to the next one. And the next one is Bound by Aveda Weiss. This is going to be the Fangs with Benefit series. It's book number 3. There is no synopsis anywhere. Not on Amazon or Goodreads. But I do know this is going to be like the full novel for Harbinger in Flint. Kind of like how Feed was to Yours Insatiably. So I'm very, very excited. I really love everything that I've read by Aveda Weiss. So I'm excited to get my hands on this. And again, I didn't tell you when the date was. Dang it. This book is coming out March 4th. Next book is Like a Sister by Kelly Garrett. I believe this is a standalone mystery thriller book. I've read her cozy mystery Detective by Day series. So good. Really, really enjoyed it. So I'm really excited to be reading a more kind of darker mystery from her. This book comes out March 8th. And here's the synopsis. A twisty, voice-driven thriller for fans of Megan Miranda and Jessica Knoll, in which no one bats an eye when a Black reality TV star is found dead in the Bronx, except her estranged half-sister, whose refusal to believe the official story leads her on a dangerous search for the truth. When a body of disgraced reality TV star Desiree Pierce is found on a playground in the Bronx the morning after her 25th birthday party, The police and the media are quick to declare her death an overdose. It's a tragedy, certainly, but not a crime. But Desiree's half-sister, Lena Scott, knows that can't be the case. A graduate student at Columbia, Lena has spent the past decade forging her own path far from the spotlight. But some facts about Desiree just couldn't have changed since their childhood. And Desiree would never travel above 125th Street. So why is no one listening to her? Despite the bitter truth that the two haven't spoken in 2 years, torn apart by Desiree's parting and by their father, Mel, a wealthy and influential hip-hop mogul, Lena becomes determined to find justice for her sister, even if it means untangling her family's darkest secrets or ending up dead herself. Ooh, so that sounds intense. Definitely different than the cozy mysteries that she has written in the past. But I like it. I'm very excited about the darker theme. Oh, this next book. I'm so excited about this next book, and that is The Dragon's Bride by Katie Robert. I mean, as soon as I saw this cover, as soon as she dropped this cover, I'm like, I'm getting this book and I'm going to love it. I just know it. And if you are a part of her Patreon, you got that not suitable for work art for this book, and holy shit. I'm excited. Yes, I'm excited. This clinch cover with, oh my god, it looks so good. But this book is coming out March 29th, and here's the synopsis. Briar Rose might have a name out of a storybook, but she learned at a very young age that no prince was coming to save her. She'll have to save herself. Unfortunately, even that is an impossible task in her current situation, trapped in a terrifying marriage to a dangerous man. Desperate times call for desperate measures, which is how she finds herself making a deal with the demon. Freedom from her husband in return for 7 years of service. She expects the service to be backbreaking and harsh. Yeah, she's definitely gonna get her back blown out. I mean, back broken. She doesn't expect to be put on an auction block in a room full of literal monsters and sold to the highest bidder. To Sol, a dragon. He might seem kinder than his fearsome looks imply, but she knows better than to trust the way he wants to take care of her, or how invested he is in her pleasure. In her experience, if something seems too good to be true, it certainly is. Falling for Sol is out of the question. She's suffered enough, and she has no intention of staying in this realm, even if she leaves her heart behind when she returns to her normal life. Oh my god, it sounds so fucking good. It sounds so good. I cannot wait for this book. Y'all. I gotta calm down. Moving on to the next book, and that is Never Cross a Highlander by Lisa Rain. And again, 2 publication dates. I'm not sure why. The first one that I found for the publication date is April 26th. If you have a different one, let me know. But again, I saw this cover, fell in love. I have to have it. Again, I love Highlander romances. This is gonna be great. Very short synopsis from the author. Lisa Rain comes an Own Voices historical mashup of Dirty Harry in a kilt with Mr. and Mrs. Smith. This banter-laden historical romance proves kilts never have been more fun. Even with that little bitty synopsis, I am so freaking excited for this book. So freaking excited. And the Who Picked This Book Club is going to be discussing this book around the time it's coming out. So definitely look forward to that. And the next book I'm looking forward to is A Dance of Smoke and Steel by Milla Vane. This is the most anticipated 3rd book of the Gathering of Dragons series. This is coming out April 26th, and here's the synopsis. As the Destroyer's army draws nearer to the Western Realms, an alliance is forming to stand against him. The heir to the throne of Carmanthe embarks upon a quest for the goddess Vela, a quest that the goddess has promised will give her strength enough to defeat the Destroyer. All that Lena must do is to stay silent and serve a man she has sworn to kill, a man who helped destroy her family. The son of a demon warlord and only recently freed from years of torture, Saxon seeks to make amends to his people before facing the justice of the Carmanthian Queen's blade. When a mysterious silent woman who wears a questing cloak joins his small band of warriors, he only wishes to rid himself of her. But she isn't so easy to get rid of, and fulfilling her quest might come at a far higher cost than Lena could imagine, for she might gain the strength to defeat the Destroyer, but what she needs from Saxon will destroy him first. Dun, dun, dun. So excited about this. I recently just reread the first book, and oh my god, I just forgot how freaking good it was. I might want to do like a full reread of all the books that are out currently before getting to this book. Because it's a pretty epic fantasy. So there's lots of stuff in there that I could have missed or forgotten. It's all very possible. The next book I am super excited for is Pleading the Fish by Bree Baker. This is my all-time favorite cozy mystery series, and this is where I first found my love for Julian Lindsay. Bree Baker is one of her pen names, and so I just have a special place in my heart for this series, and this Pleading the Fish is the 7th and final book of the Seaside Cafe Mystery series, and I'm so sad. I was lucky enough to get an ARC copy, so I have already read it, but again, I'm very excited for the release of this book. Honestly, I could give this book 10 stars. I just loved it so much. Again, this is the 7th and final book of the series. Spoilers abound in the synopsis. Please, if you do not want to be spoiled, fast forward until you don't see a picture of the book anymore, okay? So, in the 7th and final book of Bree Baker's critically acclaimed Seaside Cafe Mystery series, cafe owner and amateur sleuth Everly Swan, like every swan woman before her, is cursed in love. The only problem? Her fiancé, Detective Grady Hayes, has something to say about it. He doesn't believe in magic and is determined to prove the curse wrong so they can spend their lives together. Everly wishes it was so simple. It feels like a sign when a historian looking into Swan's history is found dead in an antique wishing well, and Everly fears the curse is spreading. Grady takes the case, looking to find justice and prove the curse wrong, while Everly does a bit of investigating on her own. Big change is coming for Everly and her friends, but with mysterious strangers lurking about and someone leaving increasingly threatening messages for the happy couple, Everly's not sure she'll get her happily ever after. Oh my god, I can't freaking wait. Just thinking about it, I'm like getting teary-eyed. I loved this fucking book. I loved it so much. That book is out April 29th. So the next 3 books that I'm excited for are going to be books 5, 6, and 7 of the Bonnie and Clyde mystery series by Julie Ann Lindsay. This is her new indie published cozy mystery series. The Who Picked This Book Club have been doing live stream discussions for these books, so if you want to check them out, I will link that in the cards and the description box for you. Definitely check it out. It's really great. So in this series, we have Bonnie and her furry sidekick, Clyde, who is her little black kitty, and they are the amateur sleuths in this series when there's a number of different murders that happen, 1 murder for every book, and she does her best to solve them along with the new sheriff in town, Mason. Book 5 is called Flared Stiff, and that is coming out in May. Book 6 is called Rough Hem Justice, and that book is coming out in August. And book 7 is called Stabbed in the Rack, and that book is coming out in December. So I'm just going to read the synopsis for Flared Stiff. Cake, cocktails, and murder. Bonnie's embracing the big 4-0 and all it has to offer, including a celebratory night out with friends. The evening is a perfect blend of fun and fabulous until the local love guru, Gretchen, is confronted by a client's spouse who's displeased by a prediction of new romance in his wife's future. Gretchen excuses herself to sort the situation, but in the morning the man is dead, stabbed with a cake knife from her true love collection. When Bonnie's friends turn to her for help unwrapping the truth, she quickly moves, saving Gretchen's reputation to the top of her birthday list. Can she make her wish for answers come true, or will the killer give Bonnie the next slice? I love this series. It's so freaking fun. If you've been a part of my channel for any length of time, you know how much I love Julie Ann Lindsay, which is why it's no surprise that the next 3 books on this list are going to be the spin-off series to Bonnie and Clyde, which is Thelma and Louisa. So the first 3 books in the spin-off series are going to be out next year. Book number 1 being No Farm, No Foul, and that is out in April. Book number 2 is Out of Cluck, and that is out in July. And the 3rd book being Nest in Peace, which is out in October. Again, I'm just going to read the synopsis of the first book. It's out of the frying pan and into the fire for Thelma and Louisa in this new farm-to-fun cozy mystery series. Polish chicken breeder Louisa Eggers and her beloved hen Thelma are enjoying life sunny side up in their earthly cottagecore community of Meadowbrook. Friends and neighbors can't get enough of Louisa's special breakfast recipes, and she has high hopes for feathering her nest with an income from her budding egg enterprise. But when a local naysayer seemingly determined to bring bad press to Louisa's community, lifestyle, and cafe is found dead with a belly full of her quiche, and the coroner Crow's murder, All eyes turn to Louisa for an explanation. To save their business and reputation, Thelma and Louisa lay a plan to find the killer. Can they crack this case before it's too late, or will they find themselves in a heaping helping of trouble? The alliteration was killing me, and the rhyming. Oh, okay. But yeah, so excited for those cozy mysteries. They're going to be great. Fantastic. Of course, the Who Picked This Book Club will be having live stream discussions about these books, so please tune in for those. But let's move on from the Julianne Lindsay section of the 2022 anticipated releases to the next book that I have on my list, and that is Bloodmarked by Tracy Deonn. Bloodmarked is book number 2 in the Legendborn series, and that is going to be out July 22nd. And again, this is book number 2 of this series, and so I'm going to read the synopsis, so if you don't want any spoils, fast forward. The powerful sequel to the instant New York Times best-selling and award-winning Legendborn, perfect for fans of Cassandra Clare and Margaret Rogerson. The shadows have risen, and the line is law. All Bree wanted was to uncover the truth behind her mother's death, so she infiltrated the Legendborn Order, a secret society descended from King Arthur's knights, only to discover her own ancestral power. Now Bree has become someone new, a medium, a bloodcrafter, a scion. But the ancient war between demons and the Order is rising to a deadly peak, and Nick, the Legendborn boy Bree fell in love with, has been kidnapped. Bree wants to fight, but the regents who rule the Order won't let her. To them, she is an unknown girl with unheard-of power and the living anchor for the spell that preserves the Legendborn cycle. She must be protected. When the regents reveal that they will do whatever it takes to hide the war, Bree and her friends must go on the run to rescue Nick themselves. But enemies are everywhere. Bree's powers are unpredictable and dangerous, and she can't escape her growing attraction to Selwyn, the mage sworn to protect Nick until death. I didn't know about that. Oh my gosh. Love triangle. If Bree has any hope of saving herself and the people she loves, she must learn to control her powers from the ancestors who wielded them first, without losing herself in the process. Oh, I'm so excited for that. I love Legendborn so much. Definitely excited for this second one here. Oh, and we're down to the last book. Book 22 in this video, and that is Storm Echo by Nalini Singh. This is going to be the latest book in the Psy Changeling series. Again, I looked on Goodreads, Storygraph, even Amazon. There is no synopsis as of yet, but it says that the book is going to be released on July 26th. Super excited about it. If you have any details about this book, like if you have an in with Nalini Singh, you let me know what this is going to be about, please. But that is it. Thank you so much for sticking in. If you made it all the way to the end, I appreciate you. This probably took a lot longer than I meant for it to. What are your most anticipated releases of 2022? Let me know in the comments. Go ahead and like my video if you did. Comment below and subscribe to my channel. You can follow me on all the social media platforms. The links will be in the description box below. We'll see you next time, avid readers.